Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here, and for today's video I just wanted to do a little cool mount showcase video for you guys. I don't think I've done a video like this before, so I thought it'd be a little bit cool. Also, if you hear a little bit of background noise, there are people over at my house, so gotta stay quiet a little bit. But if there is a mount that I don't talk about in this video and you like it a lot, let me know in the comments down below. I'll check it out and maybe I'll include it in a shorts video or something, a little extra showcase or something. But anyway, we got this fish over here and it kind of flies, so it's pretty cool. And if you want to know the name, it's over here. Kami of the, I don't even know how to say it, but where's this say Kami? I don't have the night subclass, so I'm not gonna go as fast, but just a little showcase, got little bubbles, cool little VFX and stuff, and we're gonna kind of zip through these. So I have everything favorited, you can kind of see them, but I'll just do a little showcase anyway. We got Shadow Lugia here, at least that's what it looks like here. So Shadow Lugia, if you've never played Pokemon Gale of Darkness, this is basically what he looks like. I don't know if the idea was stolen by that or what the idea behind this actually was, but either way, it's kind of cool. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but that's just kind of my take on it. Moving on, we have this dragon over here. Now, this one's pretty hard to get. This is the Starfire dragon, so you need the Starfire fragments. Those are pretty difficult to get, and the wings and everything look really cool on this dragon, so that's why I included it in my favorites. So it's like a normal dragon, but it's just very nice colors. At least I personally like it. If you don't, then, you know, your opinion and stuff. I also have nothing matching with my costume right now, so I'll have to figure out something later for that. Moving on, we have this dragon over here. So this is the Bomber Royale one. So the reason why I included this dragon is because whenever you shoot with them, you can kind of see the bomb bounces. It's like the Bomber Royale little bombs. So it's not really an on impact. I don't really like that. I see what they're doing with this design for the dragon. And the main reason why I even added it to my favorites list is because if you played Yu-Gi-Oh before, it kind of reminds me of Red Eyes Black Dragon, although it's a red dragon. I don't know if there's a Red Eyes Red Dragon, but either way, it kind of just looks like him, so I included it in my list. Moving on, we got these two little bird, I don't even know what to say, these two bird mounts. They're basically budget Gondas, that's why I included them here. Not quite Gonda, but they're pretty close. So we got that one, and we got this one over here. They don't do anything special. I guess, you know, the VFX is kind of cool-ish. But if you don't have a Gonda, then I guess these are good backups, maybe? Anyway, now we go into some of my other favorite mounts here. So we got the Geode. This one is a little cool spinning mount. And if you kind of move your keyboard in a certain way, you can make your character not spin, but I don't know, you can just keep spinning. You can't fly with this, so that's the only unfortunate thing, but it's a cool little mount that just, you know, you just spin by default, so I thought that was kind of cool, so I added that to the list. So if they had like a list for the favorite mounts, this would be on that list. Like, this would be up there for sure. I don't know what it is, but I just really like this one. You can also fly with this, so it's a pretty cool little mount. It's a delve mount. You get this one from Daughter of the Moon. Also, that's the other part of this video. I'm not really going to explain how to get all of these mounts. You can kind of see where you would get them, and I'm pretty sure all of these are tradable apart from this one, but you get the point pretty much. If you really want a tutorial, I can make a separate video on how to get all these mounts, but there is a lot of mounts in this game, so I figured that video would take way too long to make. Either way, one of my favorite mounts, I'm gonna kind of go through these a little bit more quicker. So Turtle Tank, you've probably heard of this, or you've seen it, or you have it. You basically, this is good for dungeon farming. If you have the Knight subclass, you can also go in water with this thing, so it acts as a little boat. It's a little bit slow if you don't have the Knight subclass, but you can kind of just use this to bomb your way into dungeons. You can also do damage, so pretty cool. Next up, we have this mount over here. Now, the only reason why I added this to the list is because it adds little credits, so I thought that was kind of cool. It doesn't do it like all the time like Gonda, but if you're like one block up, then it kind of just adds it like that. You can't mine the credits and you can't keep them. That would be pretty cool, but I thought this was a unique, kind of interesting mount. So sadly, we can't get the infinite jumps like we do with the Gonda, so there's that. So remember that favorite list that I was talking about? Yeah, this one would be up there too. We have a giant tractor here, and this doesn't really work out in the open here. I'm pretty sure this is only for club worlds or cornerstones. I don't want to try it on my cornerstone, but basically, you see this little hill here? If you just drive through this, it breaks all of those blocks. Okay, so I went to like a random area in my club here, so I'll just show you a little example. So we have some blocks here. We have my mount. And if I just drive through it like this, as you can see, it just breaks all of those blocks. So if you're trying to clear a certain area, this mount will do that for you. Next up, we do have another dragon, although this isn't really a dragon. It won't shoot fireballs or anything. So if we do that, as you can see, but it is kind of cool. It just reminds me of, like, you know, the Daughter of the Moon vibes and stuff. And the colors are pretty cool. I wish it kind of matched my costume, but either way, this is overall a pretty cool looking dragon, and the VFX itself is kind of cool. Next up, we go into the chaotic mounts. So we have this plush pseudo dragon, and honestly, dude, if you don't have this mount, you need to get this thing. This thing is like the best mount in the game. If I had a favorite list, this would be like S tier. This is a god tier mount. It flies. You know, it looks adorable. Look at this thing. This is the coolest looking mount ever. It's a little dragon. It doesn't do anything dragon related, but you know, it's nice to have. Going over to the other chaotic mounts, I also don't know why I included this one, but I guess it's a cool little bird. It kind of reminds me of if you had like a Pidgey in Pokemon and you use fly with it. It's like a very tiny bird just holding all of your weight onto him, which I don't know, if we just went to like Rev, for example, like a heavy kind of character, and we just go on the bird, as you can see, I feel like the bird is just like barely carrying the Rev. But yeah, either way, cool little mount. Kind of reminds me of like a mini Moltres as well. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I finally maxed out my first class in Trove. I went from having nearly every single class maxed to now just one class being maxed. The whole Crystal Gem update kind of took a toll on me, so a little bit slow on this, but we're making some progress. You know, one class is max, that's good enough. Either way, back to the video. So next up we have this one. Now this looks like an ordinary, I don't know, it looks like a cool little sword, but maybe not so cool. But if we just like move around, look at all that VFX. Like, look at all this. This is insane. This looks so cool. And the nice thing about this is that it's not a mod. Like, if you go up to anyone in Trove, like, they can see all the VFX as well. Unless they have, like, some kind of setting where they can't see all that. But they're most likely going to be able to see that. And they're going to be like, yo, what mount is that? So yeah, it's really cool. Unfortunately, it does not fly. It's probably one of the coolest Chaos Core mounts I've ever seen in Trove. There might be other ones in there, but I just really couldn't be bothered to take a look at all of them. There's so many. But yeah, this is a really nice one to have as well. Next up, we have this dragon over here. I don't know why I included it. I'm starting to not like it, but it kind of reminded me of Moltres. So, you know, it is kind of a cool dragon. It doesn't shoot fireballs. It's the, pretty sure you get this with the fiery feathers. So it's kind of like that smolder mount that I had, but I guess a bigger version of that if you want to put it that way. Next up, we have the tractors here. There isn't really much to these tractors. They're all the same. They all do different things. I've never really used the harvesting one. I just use this for gardening, but I use the watering one basically. It's kind of funny the way your character just like shakes while they're in it. It's like a motorized vehicle type thing. It's so slow, but if you have the night subclass, then obviously it can go a little bit faster. But if you're gardening, you don't want to be going at a fast movement speed, just so you can actually water all of your plants each individually like that. I think if you use the night subclass and go too fast, then your plants will not get watered and they'll be skipped. All right, so we're almost done with the list, getting close to the end. So we have this mount here. It's pretty much Lunaclipsia, but different. So you can have like your wings showing if you have different types of wings. You can have that all matching if you want to. But if you have Lunaclipsia, it's going to be the last one on this list. It basically does the same thing. I don't know if this flies. Oh, okay, it flies as well. That makes sense. But yeah, if you do like these types of mounts, it's a pretty cool one to have. It is mastery though, so you'll have to get your mastery up to get it. I'm pretty sure this is one of the higher up mastery ones. I don't really remember, and I'm kind of lazy to check as well, but it's somewhere in there. You're gonna have to trust me on that. Next up, we have Illuri, Kabiri, and Gonda. So if you don't know what Illuri and Kabiri does, basically if there's lava, it's basically like a Gonda, but it just replaces the block underneath you. You can't have infinite jumps like Gonda does. So you can walk across lava with him. You can walk across water with Illuri over here. There is Hadori, which just places flowers down. I'm in a club world, so I can't really show you. But I'm sure most of you guys know Trove of Wonders, so you've definitely seen these mounts around, so there's really much to that. And then obviously Gonda, you know, cool little chicken bird, whatever you want to call them. Places blocks underneath you, but I'm in a club world, so it's not going to do that. But basically this is all it is. You just place blocks underneath you. You have infinite jumps because you can go up high. You can just stay here for a little bit, then keep going up. So infinite jumps. You can't go over cornerstones, so that's another thing to note. All right, now we got two more. We got the other version of Gonda. This doesn't place blocks above, but it just replaces the ground. I don't know if it does it with ore. Okay, it does not do it with ore, and you can't replace cornerstone blocks. But yeah, it's a cool little squishy Gonda mount. It's a little chubby one, but I thought it was a pretty cool one to have in this list. And lastly, we have a little car looking train, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I thought that was kind of interesting to have. There are a few mounts like this. There's a plain one as well. This one does not glide, but if you want like a little car mount, this is one, I guess. And to top it all off, I'll show you guys my cornerstone. I've been working really hard on this, so let's check it out here. And as you can see, it's not the default one. So I don't know if you guys seen the default one. This is a little bit different than the default one. I have changed a few things up, as you can see around the outside, this banner. And then I placed some eggs on the inside, and then we have like this downstairs area. But yeah, overall kind of cool. I would say if you need help building this, I can make a tutorial for that soon. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you guys have some cool mounts that you want to showcase, drop it down in the comments down below. I'll take a look at them, and maybe I can do a part 2. We'll see. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing, and I will talk to you all later. Get me out of here.